August 19th, 1991. It was the start of 3 days of turmoil and the beginning of the end for the Soviet Union and communism. On that Monday, 8 hardline communists attempted to oust vacationing Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev by declaring a state of emergency. Due in the capital the next day, Gorbachev had planned on signing an historic treaty. It would dilute the USSR's power over its individual republics by giving them the independence they were demanding. The junta didn't want that to happen, so they sent the KGB, the Soviet secret police, to surround Gorbachev's Black Sea villa to keep him from returning to Moscow. The coup was made up of key government leaders and was headed by Gorbachev's deputy, Vice President Gennady Yaneyev. He took over as president, telling the public Gorbachev was unable to lead because of failing health.
It is our hope that Mikhail Gorbachev, as soon as he feels better, will take up again his office.
From the beginning, the coup was marked by a series of blunders. On Monday, tanks arrived late in Red Square and were met by angry crowds. By the time the tanks reached the Russian Parliament building, supporters of newly elected Russian President Boris Yeltsin had gathered, telling tank crews to leave. Yeltsin climbed on a tank and denounced the plotters and called for a strike.
He told his people to resist what he said was a right-wing coup. The emergency decrees had no legal force on the territory of the Russian Federation.
The junta also failed to capture all the local radio and television stations, leaving conspirators unable to control the airwaves and boast false claims of their takeover. By Wednesday, the coup was crumbling, and Gorbachev was reinstated as president by the Soviet Parliament. Thursday, he returned to Moscow.
I congratulate our Soviet people who showed great dignity and loyalty to the man in whom they entrusted power, and not to that pitiful handful of plotters who had attractive slogans but wanted to push the country into catastrophe.
Ironically, the junta that was formed to solidify the Soviet Union actually hastened its demise. During the 3 days of turmoil, 3 Baltic republics seized the opportunity to claim independence. Several other Soviet republics would soon do the same. Yaneyev and 12 other suspected junta leaders were arrested and charged with treason. The Communist Party was blamed for the trouble, and the party collapsed in a matter of days. On December 25, 1991, the central government transferred power to the republics, and the USSR officially ceased to exist. 11 of the 15 former Soviet republics formed a new association, the Commonwealth of Independent States. 74 years after Lenin and the Bolsheviks seized power, the Communist Party was dead, the victim of a second Russian Revolution.